Muslim village. It is a subject which has come directly out of Suratul Kahf of the Quran. But Suratul Kahf itself introduced us to the last age, before the end of the world. An age of great turmoil, great conflict, great killing and slaughter, great corruption, great godlessness. An age which no one can possibly understand unless you have the Quran and you have Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Suratul Kahf, which is surah number 18 of the Quran, entitled The Cave. Suratul Kahf was linked by the Messenger of Allah himself to Dajjal, the false Messiah, or who the Christians call the Antichrist. And he was one of the major signs of the last age. And when Dajjal comes into the world, and as he progresses in his mission, he subjects mankind to the mother of all tests. And if you fail the test, he destroys your faith, and you end up as garbage, straight into the hellfire. And so Dajjal is a subject of supreme importance. And we were able to demonstrate to you that Dajjal has already completed almost 2/3 of his mission. And there's only about 1/3 left. And so we are living at a time when the attack of Dajjal is intense. Suratul Kahf also introduced us to another of the major signs of the last day, namely Gog and Magog, who when they are released into the world would be agents of fasad, would corrupt everything with a strange kind of corruption which destroys. So everything is corrupted around you. But Gog and Magog also possess power. Power which is literally indestructible. And so they take control of the world with their indestructible power. And they use power to oppress. And they use power to wage war on Islam and to wage war on the religious way of life. And so as Gog and Magog proceed with their mission, the world becomes increasingly corrupt and increasingly godless. We were able to demonstrate in our lecture, we hope to your satisfaction, that we are already living in the age of Gog and Magog, and that globalization which is sweeping the world is the globalization of Gog and Magog. And all those who are embraced with that global embrace, all those who are embraced in that deadly global embrace will progressively depart from the Sunnah of Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, and will lose their faith. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam gave us a number of other major signs by which we could recognize the last age. He spoke, for example, about the return of Nabi Isa alayhi salam, the return of Jesus, the Messenger of Allah. And this was also one of our subjects of our lectures. He spoke about smoke, dukhan. He spoke about a beast of the earth, dabbatul ard. And our interpretation was that ard over here, or earth, refers to ard al-muqaddasa, or the Holy Land. And so our interpretation We can be right, we can be wrong. Our interpretation is that the beast of the earth is that state of Israel, which tomorrow will become, we are anticipating, the ruling state in the world to succeed the United States of America. He spoke sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam about the sun rising from the west. He spoke about three movements of the earth, three landslides, the earth opening and swallowing what it swallows. One in the east, one in the west, and one in Arabia. That one in Arabia is linked with Imam al-Mahdi, and that will be a topic of a lecture to come inshallah. And then he spoke about a fire coming out of Yemen, which will drive people to their place of assembly, Arafat. These are known as the 10 major signs. But today we want to speak for a little while about the minor signs, so that we may be awakened to the fact that we are living in the last age. The Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam told us that among the signs of the last day would be the universal prevalence of alcohol. People drinking alcohol. Have you ever traveled by air? The last thing that the airport does for you is to invite you to buy alcohol. Correct? And when you arrive over there, the first thing that greets you, alcohol. An age of alcoholism has now descended upon mankind. When I was living in the United States, I found that 1 in every 6 homes, 1 in every 6 is now afflicted with alcoholism. You sitting in this audience will know a member of your family or a friend of yours who was afflicted with the disease of alcoholism or drug addiction, and it is constantly increasing. This, said the Prophet ﷺ, is a sign of the last day. He said that women would be dressed, yes, and yet they'll be naked. I don't have to explain that, because you're seeing it every day. He said there would be a universal prevalence of zina, children being born outside of marriage, bastard children. It's happening every day. Marriage as an institution is becoming unfashionable. Yeah. Who bothers about marriage anymore? A sign of the last day. He spoke about the disproportionate balance of men and women to such an extent that one man would have to maintain, mark the word, maintain, not marry, maintain 50 women. And so men are going to be very scarce. That is a tomorrow which is around the corner. The medical doctors might be able to assist us in identifying the cause. Maybe something to do with sperm production. That male babies are no longer born. Rarely is a male baby born. Female babies are born all the time. He spoke sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam about the prevalence of homosexuality and its corollary, lesbianism. Around the world today, homosexuality is spreading like wildfire. One of the biggest marches in Manhattan, which attract 500,000 people, is the Gay and Lesbian Rights Day Parade. Any politician who wants to succeed in politics must be there, marching in the Gay and Lesbian Rights Day Parade. And those who oppose homosexuality and lesbianism, they are now demonized as a people suffering from a disease called homophobia. I never heard about it before I went to the United States, and I heard, if you oppose homosexuality, you're sick. You're suffering from homophobia. You probably might know someone in your family or friend right here in Trinidad who is already suffering from homosexuality or lesbianism. And a society which today looks down upon it will tomorrow accept it. Fulfillment of the prophecy of the blessed Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam